Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, family. I hope you're having an amazing, blessed Sunday. Gonna start with you. Let's go. All right. Let's get it, let's get it. How's everybody doing today? Nice and beautiful, blessed, and amazing Saturday. Excuse me, guys. You guys already know what time it is. It's your boy, Crazy Faith God in the building. Getting ready to drop some quick value for you guys today. Right. So today's topic is actually going to be thoughts and perceptions, right? The power of your thoughts and the power of your perceptions, right? So let's dive into this. Let's start off with our thoughts, right? So if you don't know, right? If you don't know, so your thoughts creates your emotions, right? Thoughts creates emotions, right? Emotions creates your actions, right? Your actions determines your results, right? So one more time, your thoughts creates your emotions, right? That's what you feel, right? Your emotions, your feelings creates your actions, right? Your actions creates your results, right? So that's why I say you always want to respond rather than react, right? Because the moment you react, you lose, right? Our thoughts are so powerful, right? Our thoughts are so powerful to the point where if we get one thought and we're not aware of it, we could always pivot on the second and third thought to kill that first thought, that first negative seed. We don't have control. Sometimes we're not aware of the first thought, but we do have control over the second and third thought, right? I want to let you guys know this because this is so powerful. Because anytime you get a negative thought, you can always pivot, right? You could kill that negative thought, right? Kill that seed and then replace it with something positive on the second and third thought. That's super, super powerful. My mentor once told me, so shout out to him for telling me that, you know. And then, with our perceptions, right? Like, what lenses are we looking from, right? Are we looking from the old self lens, right? Are we looking from the old version lens, or are we looking from the new higher version lens, the godly lens, the godly mindset? Are we looking life through the godly mindset, or are we looking through life through the old version watered down mindset? Right? It's two different outcomes that you're going to receive if you develop this mindset, right? If you develop the mindset of God, the godly, abundant, righteous mindset, you have a different outcome of the old self, the old version, the negative side of you, right? It's going to be a change, but it's going to require some type of perception, right? You're going to have your perception in order to do this. You got to get your perception intact in order to do this, right? Right? Sometimes we're not aware of our perceptions, right? What lenses are we looking through? Including me. I used to have a problem with this, and now I'm being more intentional about my perceptions and where I look, what lenses I'm looking through, right? I'm being more intentional with the perceptions I'm looking through on a day to day life because my perception is actually going to determine my results too. That's powerful. Your perception also determines your results too, right? If I'm not looking through the right perception, I'm not going to get the right outcome, right? But the moment I look through the right perception, I get the outcome that I want, right? We got to be super mindful of setting the intention on our perception each and every single day and amending our gardens with our thoughts. Our thoughts are super powerful. That's number one. And we must be aware of our thoughts, right? We get about 80 to 90,000 thoughts a day. So I know it can be hard to be aware of all of these thoughts throughout the day. But the only thing we can do is just, if we do get a negative, we already have the game plan to crush that seed by replacing it with something more positive on the second and third thought, right? You do have control over that part, right? You do have control over that part, right? And you know, with the thoughts and everything, the enemy likes to play with our minds, right? He tries to use our minds as the devil's playground, right? The mind is the battle is either lost or won in your mind, and he will try to use your mind to play with you, right? But we have to remind him that he already lost the keys, right? Jesus went to hell, defeated him, took the keys, embarrassed him. So he has no power. And as you begin to remind him of this, whatever he's trying to do to you, that power would be depleted by you reminding him of what happened, right? By reminding him what happened. So Jesus pretty much went to hell, right? He died on the cross, right? After the resurrection, he went to hell, embarrassed him, took the keys, right, from him, took all of his power, right? And sometimes we get in these thoughts, right? Sometimes, including me, we get in these thoughts and we think like, oh snap, like this is a real thought, but it's only a thought. We sometimes think that it's real, but it's not even real, right? It's just he's playing with our minds. But then right then and there, you can remind him, you have no power. Jesus took the keys from you. You have no power. You don't have no keys, right? And once you say that, the problem will diminish. It will lose its power over you. But you got to remind him. You got to remind him because he would try to. He's like a roaring lion trying to seek who he can, you know, kill, steal, and destroy. He's trying to see who he can devour. Right? You're a strong, mighty hero. He can't devour you. Right? You the son of God. He's not stronger than God. Right? He already got kicked out of heaven for pride, and he got kicked out of heaven for pride, right, by God, and Jesus already defeated him, took away his keys in hell. So if Jesus did all of that, then that means he's like a roaring lion trying to attack you. But when you remind him of this, that he has no keys, he loses his power. So it's just a bluff. It's like a fake bluff that he's trying to get at you. So you just got to be the bigger person, right? You just got to be the bigger person, right? To make him look small. You gotta be the bigger person, and then that's where you make him small and he loses his power. He has no power to draw from, right? But we gotta be super mindful of this and always know that he has no keys. No matter how bad the thought is, no matter what's going on, he has no keys, right? And you know, me just like understanding this, right, from trials and tribulations, I'm able to share with you guys, right, give you guys the real source, right? And shout out to God for allowing me to, be more aware of this and bring you guys the source so you guys can tap into your alpha states of mind, your godly states of mind, and actually become all that God has created you to be, right? We should always be transforming and evolving every single day, right? If you're not getting better every single day, then that means you're stagnant, right? We always have to be growing, stretching. How can I be better? How can I be better than I was yesterday, right? I know it's kind of annoying, but we have to do it in order to stretch, right? I like doing it now. I like pushing myself and doing new things now because I know that that's the only way to grow, and it's actually fun now. I'm actually able to do something different rather than my old routine and actually see the blessing behind it, right? It's all about your perception. See, I have the right perception as I'm looking at this, right? But if I had the wrong perception, I would be stuck. So it's all about your perceptions that's going to allow you to move forward, see clarity, and see the results that you want. Right? I'm going to leave you guys with this. if you don't, mend your garden, watch your thoughts, respond rather than react, and switch your lens, your perception lenses, and be really intentional with your perception, you're not going to be able to get the results that you want and see the growth that God is trying to do within you. And ultimately, that's going to result into like a miserable, mundane, average life that that you don't have to live. You don't have to live like that. You have the power, the tools to transform and to be all that God has created you to be. What's limiting you? Nothing, right? Nothing is limiting you, right? Because you have control over your mind. You have control over the second and third thought if you're not aware of the first thought. So you're in control of your life. It's all about using this information and applying it, and sharing it with others once you see results, right? Once you see results, you're able to share it with others and help them grow too as well, right? Don't be average. Don't be scared to take that step out in faith and be the authentic version that God called you to be. Remember, He made you He made you fearlessly and wonderfully made. He made you fearfully and wonderfully made. Right? What are you scared about? What are you fearful about? Right? You're a mighty hero. You the son of God. Right? You the king's son. Right? What are you afraid? Why are you in the shell? Why aren't you growing and expanding and getting out of your comfort zone? Right? We got to ask ourselves these questions. These are the questions that I asked myself, right? Pen and paper. I had to ask myself all of those questions. Put it on paper, and I was able to find a solution moving forward, right? So we can't allow anything to stop us, hinder us. We got to tap into the alpha state of mind, use our problems as fuel to keep pushing us forward. You know, it's all light afflictions, right? So, with that being said, it's your boy Crazy 50 God. I'm gonna take a few minutes to pray with you guys. God, I ask that you strengthen them, you strengthen their mindsets, help them to tap into that, thought process. I ask you to help them mend their gardens, help them to see if they're able to shift the second and third thought off of that first negative thought, if possible. God, help them to be more aware, help them to change their perception so they can see through another lens, so that way that they can get all that they need from you, God, and to actually see what they have from you, right? And it's all going to happen through switching their perceptions, mending their gardens, controlling their thoughts, and just being totally aligned with you and your will, growing, stretching every single day, and not staying stagnant, God. I just pray that you could just keep transforming them and doing the blessings that only you can do through them, God. In Jesus' name. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hope you guys have an amazing blessed Saturday. Let's go. Let's get it.